Thank you for joining me.
Donald Trump's 34-minute speech was brimming with the kind of nativist rhetoric that helped him win the GOP nomination.
They're pouring in, and we don't know what we're doing.
But as he doubled down on the solution to Americans' fear of attacks at home, limiting immigration into the U.S., Trump made lots of claims, some true, some not true. In the category of not true, this.
The killer, whose name I will not use or ever say, was born in Afghan, of Afghan parents, who immigrated to the United States.
His parents did emigrate from Afghanistan, but the killer himself was born in New York, which is why U.S. officials are calling it an act of homegrown terrorism. Still, regardless of the Orlando killer being American, the thrust of Trump's response to the attack is focused on concerns about immigrants. He drilled down on Hillary Clinton's plan to let Syrian refugees into the U.S.
A 500% increase in Syrian refugees coming into our country. Tell me, how stupid is that? This could be a better, bigger, more horrible version than the legendary Trojan horse ever was.
That stat, that Clinton's refugee proposal would be a 500% increase over President Obama's plan, is true. To be specific, Obama's plan allows for 10,000 refugees. Clinton's is 65,000. That would actually be a 550% increase, about what Trump claims. But he also argues there's no vetting.
Having learned nothing from these attacks, she now plans to massively increase admissions without a screening plan.
The reality is refugees now go through months of processing and paperwork before being admitted into the U.S., so that is false. Then there's the question of how many Syrian refugees are coming in now.
We have to stop the tremendous flow of Syrian refugees into the United States.
On CNN's New Day, Trump was more specific.
We have, by the way, thousands and thousands of people pouring into our country right now who have the same kind of hate and probably even more that he has.
On the numbers, what Trump said is true. According to the State Department, 3,887 Syrian refugees have been admitted to the U.S. since last October, more than 2,000 of them in the last month alone, though that's far fewer so far than the 10,000 President Obama said he'd allow. And on the issue of guns,
her plan is to disarm law-abiding Americans, abolishing the Second Amendment, and leaving only the bad guys and terrorists with guns. No good. Not going to happen, folks. Not going to happen.
Trump repeated his claim that Hillary Clinton wants to do away with America's right to bear arms. But that is false. Clinton does want to restrict access to guns, but not abolish the Second Amendment.
If the FBI is watching you for suspected terrorist links, you shouldn't be able to just go buy a gun with no questions asked.
Beyond those specific statements, for Muslims in America, Trump's overall tone was no doubt alarming, even as he said some American Muslim communities are great and called for a partnership. He also said they know what's going on. They know that he was bad. Despite offering no evidence any of the killer's fellow American Muslims knew about his intentions. Dana Bash, CNN, Washington.